The second chance. The morning sun filtered through the sheer curtains of Emma's kitchen, casting soft shadows across the marble countertops. She stood facing Marcus, her hands resting gently on her rounded belly. 6 months pregnant, and still. She could barely believe this moment was real. Marcus reached out, his calloused fingers touching her arm with the kind of tenderness that made her heart ache. His grey t-shirt was worn at the edges, a stark contrast to the designer clothes she'd grown accustomed to in her world of boardrooms and private jets. "You saved my life," Emma whispered, her voice thick with emotion. Marcus shook his head slowly, a sad smile playing at his lips. "I just did what anyone would do." But Emma knew better. What happened 3 months ago wasn't something just anyone would do. Emma had been driving too fast that night. Her mind scattered across a dozen different business deals. Rain pounded against the windshield of her Mercedes as she navigated the winding coastal highway. The call with her lawyers had gone poorly. The merger was falling apart. Everything she'd built over 15 years seemed to be crumbling. She didn't see the curve until it was too late. The car hydroplaned, spinning wildly across the wet asphalt. Emma screamed as the vehicle crashed through the guardrail, tumbling down the embankment toward the rocky shore below. Metal shrieked, glass shattered, and then everything went still. She hung upside down, trapped by her seatbelt, blood trickling into her eyes. The ocean waves crashed nearby, and she could smell gasoline. Panic seized her chest as she realized she couldn't move her legs. That's when she saw the flashlight beam cutting through the darkness. "Hold on." A voice called out, "I'm coming to get you." Through her fading consciousness, Emma watched a figure slide down the muddy embankment, rain soaking through his clothes. He reached her car, assessed the damage with quick, efficient movements, then carefully pried open the twisted door. "My name is Marcus," he said, his voice calm and steady despite the urgency. "I'm going to get you out of here. Can you tell me your name?" "Emma," she managed to whisper. "Okay, Emma, stay with me." His hands were gentle but sure as he worked to free her, talking to her the entire time, keeping her conscious. When he finally lifted her from the wreckage, cradling her against his chest, she saw his face clearly for the first time in the glow of his flashlight. Strong features, kind eyes, and a determination that spoke of someone who had weathered his own storms. He carried her up the embankment just as sirens wailed in the distance. As the paramedics took over, Emma tried to grab his hand, tried to ask his name again, but exhaustion pulled her under. When she woke up in the hospital 2 days later, Marcus was gone. It took Emma 6 weeks to track him down. 6 weeks of hiring investigators, of following dead-end leads, of questioning everyone who might have seen something that night. She learned he was a single father, that he worked 2 jobs to support his daughter, that he'd been driving home from his night shift when he saw her car go over. She learned that he hadn't stayed for thanks or reward. He'd simply disappeared into the night, as if saving lives was just something he did on his way home. When Emma finally found his address and showed up at his modest apartment, Marcus had opened the door with surprise written across his face. His daughter Lily, a bright-eyed 7-year-old, peeked out from behind his legs. "I wanted to thank you," Emma had said simply, "and to know your name." That conversation had led to coffee. Coffee led to dinner. Dinner led to long walks where they talked about everything her high-pressure world of finance. His struggles as a single parent, their dreams, their regrets. Emma found herself drawn to his quiet strength, his genuine kindness, The way he listened, like her words actually mattered. Marcus saw past her wealth and status. He saw Emma, just Emma. 3 months later, Emma discovered she was pregnant. Now, standing in her kitchen, Emma studied Marcus's face, searching for the right words. Since telling him about the baby 2 weeks ago, something had shifted between them. He'd grown distant, pulling away just when she needed him most. "Marcus," she said softly, "talk to me, please." He ran a hand through his dark hair, his jaw tightening. "Emma, look at your life. Look at this house. Your company. Your world," he gestured around the gleaming kitchen. "And look at me. I'm a mechanic who barely makes rent. I have a daughter to support, responsibilities. What can I possibly offer you?" "Everything," Emma said, her voice breaking. "You offer me everything that matters." "That's not realistic," Marcus said, but his voice wavered. "You need someone from your world. Someone who can stand beside you at those charity galas and business dinners. Someone who understands your life." Emma took a step closer, placing her hand over his heart. She felt it racing beneath her palm. "I spent 15 years building an empire," she said. "I made millions. I sat in boardrooms with the most powerful people in the world. And you know what? I was empty, completely empty, until the night you pulled me from that car. Until you showed me what real strength looks like." Marcus closed his eyes, but he didn't pull away. "The night of the accident," Emma continued, "I was driving too fast because I was running away. From connection, from vulnerability, from anything real. I built walls around my heart with money and success because I was afraid. Afraid of needing anyone. Afraid of being truly seen." She took his hand and placed it gently on her belly, where their baby grew. "But you see me, Marcus, and I see you. That's worth more than any merger or business deal I've ever made." A tear slid down Marcus's cheek. "I'm scared, Emma. Scared I'm not enough. Scared I'll fail you and this baby. Then we'll be scared together," Emma whispered. "But don't leave. Please don't leave before we even have a chance." Marcus pulled her into his arms, his embrace strong and warm. Emma felt his heart hammering against hers, felt the way his breath hitched with emotion. "I'm not going anywhere," he murmured into her hair. "I'm sorry. I needed to know this was real for you, that I was enough." Emma pulled back to look into his eyes. "You saved my life that night, but it wasn't just by pulling me from the car. You saved me by showing me what life could be, what love could be. You gave me a second chance, Marcus. Let me give you one too." He cupped her face in his hands, his thumb brushing away her tears. "A second chance," he repeated softly. Then he smiled that beautiful, genuine smile that had first captured her heart. Together, Emma agreed. Outside the kitchen window, the morning sun climbed higher in the sky, warming the world with its gentle light. And inside, two people who had found each other in the darkness held on tight, ready to face whatever came next. Not as a billionaire and a mechanic. Not as saved and savior, just as Marcus and Emma. Two imperfect people choosing love, choosing each other, choosing to stay.